Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dive into math.
Yeah.
Today, we're going all the way back to the beginning,
Okay.
to the very foundation of numbers.
Right.
The Peano Axiom.
I love it.
Peano Axioms.
Yeah.
We're talking natural numbers.
Sure.
Like 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And how these seemingly simple axioms can be used to build up all of arithmetic.
That's right.
And maybe even uncover a few mind-bending paradoxes.
For sure.
To guide us on this journey.
Okay.
We have a very special guest, a Fields Medalist.
Wow. Thank you.
Whose work has profoundly shaped our understanding of numbers and their intricate relationships.
It's great to be here.
I
I've
know.
always been fascinated by how something as fundamental as the natural numbers can lead us to such profound mathematical insights.
I think a lot of people take numbers for granted.
I agree.
We use them every day without really thinking about where they come from or what they truly represent.
Yeah, that's true. But beneath the surface of these familiar symbols lies a rich and complex world of mathematical structure. And the Peano Axioms provide us with a powerful lens through which to explore that world.
So let's talk about those axioms.
Okay.
For those who might not be familiar, can you give us a quick rundown of what they actually say?
Certainly, the Peano Axioms, named after the Italian mathematician Giuseppe Peano, are a set of postulates that aim to rigorously define the natural numbers at their heart. They capture the intuitive idea of starting with 0 and then generating all other natural numbers by successively adding 1.
So it's like building a tower of blocks, one block at a time.
That's a great analogy. The first axiom states that 0 is a natural number. Then the second axiom introduces the concept of a successor,
Right.
essentially adding 1. It states that every natural number has a successor, which is also a natural number.
So 0 has a successor, which is 1. 1 has a successor, which is 2, and so on, building up the entire set of natural numbers.
Exactly, but we need more axioms to make sure our tower doesn't have any weird gaps or loops. That's where the third and fourth axioms come. And the third axiom ensures that no two different natural numbers have the same successor, so our tower keeps moving upward without any branching or merging. And the fourth axiom says that 0 is not the successor of any natural number, so our tower has a solid foundation and doesn't circle back on itself.
So we have a straight, sturdy tower of numbers, starting with 0 and going up forever.
Huh.
What about the fifth axiom? I've heard it called the domino effect axiom. Why is that?
Ah, yes, the principle of mathematical induction. This is where the real power of the Peano Axioms lies. It's a bit more abstract than the previous ones, but essentially it says that if a property is true for 0, and whenever it's true for a number, it's also true for its successor, then it's true for all natural numbers. Think of it like a line of dominoes. If the first one falls and each falling domino knocks down the next, then the entire line will fall.
So if we can prove something is true for 0, and then show that it holds true for every subsequent number, then we've essentially proven it for all natural numbers, even though there are infinitely many of them.
Precisely, this principle is incredibly powerful. It allows us to prove statements about all natural numbers without having to check each one individually, which would be impossible.
It's amazing how such a simple idea can unlock so much of mathematics. Now, I know that Peano wasn't the first mathematician to try to formalize arithmetic. Were there others who paved the way for his work?
Absolutely. Back in the 1860s, Hermann Grassmann started demonstrating that a lot of arithmetic boils down to simple ideas like successors and induction. He didn't quite formulate the axioms as we know them today, but his work was crucial in highlighting the need for a more rigorous foundation for arithmetic.
So Grassmann was already planting the seeds of formalization. What about Peano himself? Was he aware of the work of others in this field, like Dedekind or Frege?
Peano built upon the work of Dedekind, whose approach to defining natural numbers used set theory. Interestingly, Peano wasn't initially aware of Frege's similar work on axiomatizing arithmetic, so he developed his system independently. It just goes to show that these fundamental mathematical ideas were ripe for discovery at that time, with multiple brilliant minds converging on similar concepts.
It's like they were all tapping into some underlying mathematical truth, each bringing their own unique perspective.
Exactly. It highlights how mathematics is both a collaborative and individual endeavor.
Now, before we delve further into the implications of the Peano Axioms, I think it would be helpful for our listeners to hear the axioms stated in their full glory, just to get a sense of their elegance and simplicity.
Certainly the Peano Axioms in their modern form state, 1, 0 is a natural number 2. Every natural number has a successor, which is also a natural number 3. No two different natural numbers have the same successor, 4. 0 is not the successor of any natural number 5 if a property is possessed by 0, and also by the successor of every natural number that possesses it. then it is possessed by all natural numbers.
There you have it, 5 simple statements that form the basis of all of arithmetic. But as you hinted earlier, these axioms lead to some surprising and even paradoxical conclusions. And that's what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive.
So those 5 axioms, so simple on the surface, can generate this whole universe of natural numbers and all the arithmetic that we do with them.
It really is like a mathematical seed
Yeah.
that grows into an infinitely tall tree of numbers.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that these axioms also lead to some paradoxes.
Yeah.
And that's what really intrigues me. How can something so fundamental lead to these mind-bending contradictions?
Well, one of the most fascinating and unsettling consequences of the Peano Axioms is the existence of what we call non-standard models of arithmetic.
Non-standard models.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're really going to have to break this down for me.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
what in the world is a non-standard model?
So imagine our familiar number line, stretching out to infinity with 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. That's a model of the Peano Axioms. But it turns out there are other models, other number systems that also perfectly satisfy all 5 axioms, but look wildly different from our usual number line.
Wait, so there are other number universes out there
Yeah.
that follow the same rules but somehow end up looking totally alien.
Precisely. These non-standard models might have numbers that are infinitely large or infinitely dense, or even numbers that lie between the numbers we're familiar with. It's as if we took the Peano Axioms as a blueprint and built a number system that looks nothing like the one we intended.
That's mind-blowing. So these non-standard models, are they just mathematical curiosities or do they have any real implications?
They challenge our very notion of what number means. They show us that even with a seemingly airtight system like Peano arithmetic, there's room for interpretation for unexpected consequences. And they have deep implications for fields like logic and set theory, forcing us to grapple with the limits of formal systems.
Speaking of limits, you can't talk about Peano axioms without mentioning Gödel's incompleteness theorems.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Those are the ones that basically say even with perfect rules, there are still truths we can't prove, right?
Exactly. Gödel's theorems were a bombshell in the world of mathematics. They showed that any system powerful enough to express basic arithmetic will inevitably contain statements that are true but unprovable within that system. It's as if we built a perfectly logical house but found out it has rooms we can never access.
That's so frustrating. So even with the elegance and rigor of the Peano axioms, there are still truths about numbers that we can't pin down with logic alone.
That's the strange and beautiful truth revealed by Gödel, and in a way it's liberating. It tells us that mathematics is not a closed book, a finished story. There will always be mysteries to unravel, new territories to explore.
Okay, back to the real world for a second. Let's say someone is listening to this and thinking all this talk about axioms and non-standard models is fascinating, but why should I care? How do the Peano axioms actually impact our everyday lives?
Well, for starters, they're the foundation of computer science. Computers at their core are just machines for manipulating symbols, according to rules, and Peano axioms are essentially the rules that define how computers work with numbers.
So every time I use a calculator or browse the internet or play a video game,
Yeah.
the Peano axioms are quietly working behind the scenes.
Exactly. They're woven into the very fabric of the digital world we inhabit.
That's a fantastic example of how abstract math can have incredibly concrete applications. I'm starting to see how those seemingly simple axioms have a much wider reach than we might initially realize.
And their impact extends beyond computers. The principles of formal systems of building up complex structures from simple rules are used in fields like linguistics, economics, even music theory.
So Peano's work, in a way, helped to pave the way for a more formalized axiomatic approach to thinking about all sorts of systems, not just mathematical ones.
Precisely. It's a testament to the power of clear, rigorous thinking.
Now, we've talked a lot about the theoretical and practical implications of the Peano axioms, but I'm curious about the man himself, Giuseppe Peano. What was he like as a mathematician and as a person?
Peano was known for his meticulous rigor, his almost obsessive attention to detail. He wasn't just content with defining numbers. He wanted to create a whole new language for expressing mathematical thought, free from ambiguity and imprecision.
So he was a bit of a mathematical revolutionary, wanting to shake things up and make them more precise.
In a way, yes. He even developed his own logical notation system, which, while not widely adopted, was influential in the development of modern set notation. He was a visionary driven by a deep belief in the power of logic and formal systems to illuminate the world around us.
And his legacy extends far beyond the Peano axioms. Didn't he also make important contributions to other areas of mathematics?
Absolutely. Peano worked in fields like calculus differential equations and even vector analysis. He was a true polymath, constantly pushing the boundaries of mathematical thought.
It's inspiring to see how one person's work can have such a lasting impact on the world of mathematics.
It's a testament to the power of curiosity, creativity, and a relentless pursuit of truth. And that's what makes mathematics such an endlessly fascinating and rewarding field to explore.
I couldn't agree more. It's been an incredible journey so far, delving into the Peano Axioms and all their surprising implications. But there's one question that's been lurking in the back of my mind throughout our conversation, and it's a big one. We've talked about how the Peano Axioms give us this framework for understanding numbers, but they also seem to open the door to these like alternative facts with the non-standard models.
Yeah.
So does that mean math is something we invent like a game with rules, or is it a truth we discover something baked into the universe itself?
Ah, the age-old question. It's one that every mathematician grapples with at some point, and the Peano axioms, with their ability to generate both standard and non-standard models, really highlight the tension between those two viewpoints.
Because on one hand, it feels like we're making the rules. Zero is a natural number. We define a successor. We set up these axioms. But then these unexpected consequences pop up, like those bizarre non-standard models. It's like, wait a minute, was that always there, or did we create it by defining the game?
It's like the math itself is sort of saying, here's what else is possible given the constraints you've set up.
So are those non-standard number systems just as valid as our everyday number line, even though they seem so alien?
That's where things get philosophically tricky. Some argue that the standard model, the one we use for counting and measuring, is somehow privileged because it corresponds to our intuitive understanding of the world. But from a purely mathematical perspective, those non-standard models are equally valid solutions to the Peano axioms.
It's almost like there's this platonic realm of mathematical truths, and we're just catching glimpses of it through these different lenses, whether it's the standard model or these more exotic ones.
That's a beautiful analogy, and it speaks to the power of axiomatic systems. We start with a few basic assumptions, and then the logic plays out, revealing consequences we might never have anticipated.
I'm starting to see how the Peano Axioms aren't just about defining numbers, but about exploring the very nature of mathematical truth and the interplay between invention and discovery.
Exactly, and that exploration is ongoing. Mathematicians are still studying the implications of the Peano axioms, looking for deeper connections between the standard and non-standard models, trying to understand the limits of what we can prove and what remains forever out of reach.
It's like those axioms opened a door to this whole new universe of mathematical possibilities, and we're still mapping out the terrain.
And that's what makes mathematics so exciting. It's a constantly evolving landscape full of surprises and challenges.
Well, you've given us a lot to ponder today. From those 5 deceptively simple axioms, we've journeyed through the vastness of the natural numbers, encountered these mind-bending non-standard models, and even glimpsed the limits of mathematical proof. It's been an incredible deep dive.
It's been my pleasure. Anytime we get to explore the foundations of mathematics, it's a reminder of how much beauty and wonder there is in this field.
And for our listeners, we hope this has sparked your own curiosity about the Peano Axioms and the world they unlock if you're feeling adventurous. Maybe you'll even check out Dedekind's set-theoretic approach just to see how the other half builds numbers from scratch.
And no matter where your mathematical journey takes, you remember to keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep that sense of wonder alive.
Because as we've learned today, even in the seemingly straightforward world of numbers, there's always more to discover.
Until next time, keep those mathematical minds engaged.
And keep diving deep.